Hey guys, not gonna lie, I might have to change the name of this show because I want to focus on indie things this season. But most of the most of the producers of indie products have been either novelists or graphic novelists. So this isn't always about motion pictures. Anyway, this just came in the mail today. Yaira issue number 1. I've been really excited for this. Side note, I actually ordered cover A for reading, and then I ordered a signed copy of cover C. It's the most rare one, signed, graded, etc. Just this came in the mail, so I was a little bit concerned. I was like, maybe they're just sending them separately, whatnot. Reached out to the Ripperverse. 17 minutes later, they got back to me, basically saying, like, we don't know exactly when it'll get there, but we are sending them separately, so the graded one will come later. 17 minutes, guys. I mean, like, that is good service. Anyhow, I digress. How was the book? Well, I just finished reading it, and honestly, to date, it's the best the Ripperverse has offered so far, in my opinion. If you've watched my previous videos, it started out a little bit rocky with Isom. Some of the writing was a little bit awkward. It also had to do really a lot with the fact that they put a lot into them. Like, it wasn't just about Avery Isom. It was like, here's this character and that character and that character and that character. So it's like they weren't really able to like focus on him because they were trying to build this universe. It was very ambitious, okay? Even in ways that it didn't work, I respect it. But then, you know, as it kind of picked up steam, as it became a massive success, you had Chuck Dixon write Alpha Core, which was the last issue that came out, and it was great. And also, I have to say, the release of Alpha Core before Yaira was a good choice. Getting kind of familiar with those characters really helped sort of enhance this story. Closest thing to a spoiler that I will get into, this picks up exactly where we last left Yaira after she's done fighting Isom. I mean, it literally picks up like the moment after that. She's sort of an anti-hero. She's a complicated character. She's awesome. You're rooting for her 100%. She has a brilliant way of kind of pitting enemies up against one another. I don't want to get too specific, but she has enemies who are introduced in this book who know who she is, where she comes from, etc., etc., etc. That's as far as I'm going to get into that. But, you know, then you also have Alpha Core looking for her because they're like the basically police officers of the Accept world. Accept is the name for superheroes in this series. This graphic novel, let's call it that, because every issue of the Ripperverse is dense. It gives you a lot of material. The artwork is absolutely amazing. This is the most violent thing to date that the Ripperverse has had. There's a lot of swearing in here. They bleep it out. They do like the, you know, hashtag, exclamation point, @ symbol shit that they used to do in old comic books. But there's actually a decent amount of blood and violence in this comic book. Really, really, really enjoyed it. The Soska sisters did a very good job with this. I think that Yaira might to date be the most interesting character, definitely the most complex character, let's put it that way. Next up on the roster, I am very excited, is Gooding, which is being written by Mike Barron. It's the perfect choice, I think. It's the absolute perfect choice because Gooding is kind of a quirky character. He was introduced first in Isom issue number 2, and he's basically, I mean, as best as I could tell from the issue, he's sort of like an uber capitalist, you know, and he runs his own security company, and he offers packages starting at like $49.99. It's a very quirky idea, and Mike Barron is the man for the job. I'm telling you that right now because he also wrote Nexus, and the Nexus comic books had a tendency to get really quirky and kind of satirical at certain points. There was this character, Vooper, who is a total goof on Ross Perot from the 90s. There's even like a little plaque in a frame of one of the comic books. It says Uncle Ross. Excellent choice. So far, I mean, like, this is definitely, it's just getting better and better as it goes. And a lot of the sort of stuff that came off as convoluted in Isom is getting fleshed out. So it's like going back and reading it is making things a lot easier now because you kind of understand a little bit better what's going on. And you know what? I kind of like that. I like the fact that you just get kind of thrown into things and it starts evolving. Yaira is a very interesting character. Props to Eric July and the Ripperverse because they have officially released Well, they have officially developed, I don't know if it's been released yet, a McFarlane toy for Yaira. I mean, that is so freaking cool. You have all these people who are just legendary comic book writers, who love comic books, who absolutely despise what has been happening to the mainstream with all this, like, woke crap. Sorry, with all this segregationist crap, let's put it that way. And they're just like, we love comic books, we grew up with comic books, and we're gonna fix this. And damn it, they are succeeding. Yaira issue number 1 is awesome. I definitely recommend it. For those of you who haven't gotten in on the Ripperverse yet, check it out, man. Ripperverse.com. There's a lot of good shit on there, all right? Anyways, has my fullest recommendation, and that's all she wrote.